Streaming. Who knows where this is going? It's supposed to be going to my YouTube page. I think it's going to happen. I don't know. Something's going on that screen. This is what happens when old men. I'm going to mute it. Hold on. Old men are in charge of. Oh, it is. It's streaming live. All right, we're live. I could see it now. There you go. I'm going to make a prediction, and this is a prediction that I hope I'm wrong. You ever know when someone makes a prediction, they want to be right? Like, "Oh, I predict the Saints will win the Super Bowl." And you want them to be right, or they want to be right. I want to be wrong on this prediction. Here is my prediction, and it's a horrible one, just based on what I'm hearing and based on what I do. I'm the executive director of a foundation that works in suicide prevention, the Half a Sorrow Foundation. We get our name from a shared joy is a double joy, a shared sorrow is half a sorrow. You can see over my shoulder, that's my brother Mark and my brother Matthew. I lost both those guys to suicide, 11 years apart. I wouldn't wish one on the devil himself. So here's the prediction. In the United States of America, we have just shy of 50,000 suicides a year. And I'm going to predict in 2025, and God, I'm praying I'm wrong, we will go over that number. And here you go. A guy who does suicide prevention is predicting that suicides will go up, and it's not good. And trust me, if we're below 49,000 and I'm dead wrong, and you put in the comments, dude, you were wrong, I'll be the happiest guy on the planet. I want to be wrong on this prediction. But here's what I see going on. Just if I could pinpoint it, you can't. You can't pinpoint it. One cause, it's, often multifactorial. But I'm going to start at the top and work my way down to us. And the top is in the United States, our leadership. Now, I'm not going to get political because I'm going to throw them both under the bus. Um, our leadership, Democrat, Republican, both sides stink. And I can't be the only one who thinks that. I really can't be the only one that thinks that. There's got to be a bunch of us. This side stinks, and we're in the middle. There's over 330 million Americans. Do you think we fit in two buckets? DR, Democrat, Republican. Do you really think our ideals fit in two? We have two choices? Ugh, they're horrible. And what they've done, both sides. I know if you say something wrong about one party, half America's mad at you. If you say, the other half is happy with you. Both sides stink at putting party. This is what they do. They put party over politics. I know for a fact there are some representatives, and they're good people, senators and representatives, House of Representatives, that had to vote for something that they didn't like and their district didn't like. They voted for a bill they didn't want, and their people they represent didn't want, but they had to vote for it because somebody in the party said, you need to vote for this. I know that happened. So our leadership stinks on ice. The only thing I can hope for is one day we have a quieter um, leadership. But what I mean by that, I'm old enough. Look at the gray beard. I am old enough to remember when we didn't know where our president was. There were days we had no idea where that cat was. He'd go to Camp David, or I'd pick up the newspaper and go, "Oh, president's in Europe. Who knew?" Now we know when that guy farts. Both sides again. We overcover it. It's a 24-hour news cycle. We get bombarded. We're drinking from a fire hose. There was a day we had no idea where that cat was, and it was awesome. It was quiet on the political front. Now everything's political. We had a restaurant, by the way. I'm going to go back about a month or two ago. A restaurant hardly any of us go to. It's a good one, but I haven't been there in months. Maybe I'm speaking for me. I'm talking about the Cracker Barrel. They changed their logo and it became political. I'm like, how does that happen? If they changed their logo back in the 70s and 80s, nobody would have noticed. Who would have drove by? They got a new logo. That's it. It was on TikTok. People were on Twitter. Blah, 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 the logo. What's going on? They dropped the white. It was crazy. And a restaurant we barely go to. And it became political. We've got to calm down, America. So that's me throwing both political parties under the bus. I think that contributes to a poor mental health. And again, the prediction of suicides going up. There's also another thing out there, socioeconomic factors. We hear a lot about affordability and the price of eggs and all that stuff, some things are starting to come down. I am seeing gasoline coming down, and hopefully fuel prices will drive lower prices, but it's hard for corporate America to give back. Like if they get a price increase, and I used to be in business, if you get a price increase, you're in no rush to decrease them. You know why? Because that's record profits, and we'll see that in 2025. But there's one market I'm really concerned about because I have kids. One of my sons has a house, the other one doesn't. I have 2 boys, and the housing market has gone haywire, and we have to figure out a way to get corporate interests out of the housing market. I don't know, what do you do? Pass a law? There's a company out there, I'm gonna get the name wrong, BlackRock, Blackstone no, Blackstone is my grill. BlackRock, I think it is. They own 80,000 houses, and they rent them, and they Airbnb them, and they turn them. They look at housing market as an investment. My dad did not have to compete with the housing market. My dad did not have to, um, compete with corporate interests when he bought his house. I didn't when I bought my first house, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, I think I paid $120,000 for it. Now there's like a trend on, TikTok where people go into stores that young guys I saw this one guy going into the store and asking older folks what they paid for their first house. The numbers are jaw-dropping because they didn't compete with the BlackRocks. We recently I'll give you an example. We recently sold my mom's house. She died, she lived in Wilmington, North Carolina. Both my mom and dad died in that house, none of us wanted it, and it would make a great family home. It's in a neighborhood, it's in a golf community, it's in a neighborhood. So we sold it. This guy bought it, from North Carolina. We didn't vet him too well. We were just happy to just get rid of the house. I thought he was in I think he worked at NC State. I didn't know that, or one of the schools there. I thought maybe he's gonna retire, move to Wilmington. The son of a gun turned it into an Airbnb. My sister found it online and said, "Mom's old house is an Airbnb." It doesn't need to be an Airbnb. It needs to be full of kids and people running around, a young family, a pregnant mom in the kitchen, a dad, in the yard playing with the kids. That's what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be an Airbnb, but there we are. All right, so that's one of the factors I think for my prediction to come true, a prediction I do not want to come true. Um, Violence. We are subjected to a lot of violence. It was, God, had me over 25, 30 years ago that we had the Columbine incident, and I'm not gonna go on an anti-gun rage here, but boy, oh boy, after that first school shooting, if we would have taken every gun in America except for hunting weapons, because we need to, manage wildlife. If we took every gun in America and put it on a barge and then sunk that barge, boy, oh boy, we'd be a better place. Now you can't touch that, the third rail. "We need our guns. We are rights to bear arms." I get that. I read the Second Amendment. I get it. But man, we have too many. We can't even ban like assault rifles. We can't do it. Even when a guy shows up at an Amish school and shoots angels, little kids, we don't do anything. So all these school shootings, everything that's going on, we do absolutely nothing about it. Sandy Hook, what happened after that? Nothing. We have to figure that out. We have to figure that out. That's one of the factors, the violence in America. 54% of all suicides are completed with a firearm. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what it is. Stats, data. You can crush me in the comment section. I get it. I'm a big boy. I can handle it, but we deserve better. Oh, here's another thing. Post-COVID hangover. We're 5 years post-COVID. It's 2025. Something's going on. Like we don't come out anymore. I saw an article the other day in a restaurant door, a restaurant tour. A guy who owns a restaurant, it's got a fancy name. The owner was trying to pin his lack of business on the younger generations not drinking because they make huge markups on alcohol. I'm 31 years sober, and I'm sitting there reading this article going, dude, if your business model depends on people drinking alcohol, F your business model. That's not cool. Um, I get it, but I don't get it. But, don't blame the kids for not drinking. There's a sober, curious movement going afoot. I'm 31 years out of the business. I still go out and eat. When I order water and I can see the waitresses or waiter's face the minute I say water, they just go, like, because I know they're losing money on it. But How about this? How about increase the price of the food a little bit? I'll pay for that. Pay your staff. Don't make me tip them. I don't know. So I was so mad at this restaurant guy owner for saying, "Hey, you all need to drink more." That's not true. Um, that's not true. It's don't put it on the front end, the bar to carry your business model. It's a lot of people aren't drinking. And on that COVID hangover thing, a lot of people aren't going out of their house. That's a huge bummer. Door dashing and Netflixing and staying in. And we're not designed to do this thing called, life alone. And it's happening. And see these earplugs I got in here for listening to this podcast? I went on a I went into a college and I noticed I was speaking on suicide prevention and the kids were awesome, by the way. Every time I get out in the public, and speak to the younger generations, I think we're gonna do fine, but a lot of them wore headphones. I couldn't find the building, and I had to finally tap a kid on the shoulder and say, "Can you pop those out?" I think we get isolated in our bubble. Now I sound like some old Kevin right now. When I was a kid with the headphones," but we gotta be careful. We're isolating ourselves. We're staying home, and we're not doing things in groups. And I'm part of because of my foundation, I'm part of a bigger group of folks that do trainings and suicide prevention stuff. And I hear it from my group that I'm part of, Linked by Legacy, that it's harder to get people to come out. Before COVID, there was like a wait list. If we did a mental health training or QPR, one of these programs, often you had a wait list. And now it's just people aren't coming out. They're not even showing up. And they RSVP too. This is what really pisses people off. They RSVP, I'm coming, and then they don't come. So we need to figure that out. On that note, I'm just working through my mind map here. I just mapped it out. Church attendance is down, and that used to be a great place where people got together, and it's down across the board. Um, and I don't care what church you go to. I don't care what religion. There are people with church wounds. I get it, but listen, you don't have to attend the church that wounded you. You have to find a church that'll heal you. And I grew up Catholic. I loved it. Um, I've been Lutheran, I've been Protestant, Presbyterian. I now go to a non-denominational church. I'm not trying to tell you how to live. I'm trying to tell you to live, but you need those groups. And I'll throw in temples on Saturday, mosque. I don't care. People aren't going, and it was the backbone of a lot of people's lives for a while because that's where a lot of social interaction occurred. That's where a lot of if someone got sick, the church folks stepped up. And church attendance is going down. I don't know how you turn that around. Some of the, mega churches are doing some stuff, but or bigger churches are rocking and rolling. I like that. They're changing it up a little bit. A lot of people like traditional. I can remember I told you I grew up Catholic. That's a very traditional service. Whatever it is, figure it out, bite the bullet, get in there. Heck, I went to a funeral at a Unitarian Universalist. They believe in like a higher power. Some of the nicest people on the planet. That's a group. Remember, a stick alone could be broken by a child. A stick in a bundle cannot be broken. And often these faith-based meetings are a good bundle. And we're not doing that anymore. What else could I go on my rant here? Oh man. I don't even know where this is going, by the way. I thought I set up YouTube. I thought I set up Instagram. I have no idea if this live stream is going. It's on Riverside and it's even going to Riverside. Who knows who's watching? It's just me ranting. Um, One thing we did, I'm looking at suicides going up, the prediction, and I wanna be wrong. Oh, another thing we recently ruined, and it's that time of year, college sports. Um, I used to love football, and now you root for one guy one year, you just think, "Wow, this guy's a freshman, we're gonna have him for 3 more years?" No, he's gonna transfer. Somebody's gonna offer him more money, and I read an article this morning where it's trickling down into high schools. Where high schools are bidding on players. We ruined sports. We did that. I don't know why that's even on my list. It's not not a contributory factor, but it's on my list. It contributes to my mental health. We ruined it. But all in all, I'm still hopeful. I'm hopeful we can turn this all around. If the numbers go up for completed suicides, I know we can drive them down. We've done it, and we've done it recently. 2019, they went down. 2020, the year of COVID, they went down. We can do it. I think we need to start at the top and get our leadership to be more hopeful and model some behavior that we all need to do, but on a smaller scale, right? Boil it down to the individual level. We need to be kinder to each other. That we can do. That we can do. And you're sitting there going, "Hey, Dennis, why is this happening on a Friday?" You're going on this little bit of a rant. Here's why. Because I heard of way too many suicides just this week. Just this week, my little world has been impacted. I had to do a postvention, which is after a suicide happens at a school. Rocked my world. Young guy, 16 years old, way too young. The worst offenders for suicide are middle-aged men, 44 and higher. And it doesn't matter. I can do data and stats all day long. Men are 80% of all suicides are men. Women have more attempts, and I can go on. But remember, I'm wearing one is too many. I'm wearing a bracelet given to me by a father who lost his daughter, and she was 12 years old. Ugh, we got to get a handle on this. And I invite you in the comment section. Don't blast me for my opinions, please. If you want it and it makes you feel good, go for it. But what I'm looking for is constructive criticism. How can we change things? How can we do better? And I'm focused on the United States because that's where I live, but we could take this globally. How can we do better as humans on this planet, the third rock from the sun, going forward? Help me out here. Pick me up. I had a rough week. I still smiling. It's the weekend. It's Friday. I'm going to have a good weekend. I'm going to go to a Christmas parade and enjoy that. Let's, hopefully no one drives their car through it and all that bull crap that goes on. See, I just went negative. It happens because of our behaviors. But I am going to go out there and live my life, and I hope you do too. Hit me up in the comments, please. What can we do as a society to do better for each other and reduce the overall suicide rate? Help a brother out. We're coming in on 17 minutes and 49 seconds. I think 18 minutes is good enough for a rant. I just had to get this out. I love you all for listening. It's out. It's out. And I feel better for it. But if you could help me out and coach me up a little bit on what you would do if you were in my shoes, I'd appreciate it. Love you and have a great weekend.